We can take questions in English and in Norwegian. Big thanks to Millie and Sarina for their time. Who would like to kick us off? We'll go with Anton ready with his microphone.
Thanks. Hi Sarina, hi Millie, nice to see you. First off, Sarina, we'll just start with the team. How's everybody fit and is everybody available?
Yeah, only Lotte is not available. Everyone else is available.
We just heard from Martin Turpin, the Norway head coach, saying that all the pressure is on England going into that one. Sarina, Millie, is that fair?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think Norway has to win too to be top of the group. We want to win. It's easy to put pressure or say that the pressure is on. Did he say why?
Oh, just because the hosts and because the expectation.
Okay. Well, we know what we want. We want to play our best game. We want to entertain, and of course we want to win games. And our next game is tomorrow against Norway. So we really want to win that game, and that's what we're all talking about. Develop our style of play, play our best game, do our best, and then we see what that brings us.
That word keeps on coming up there, doesn't it, Millie? Pressure. Is that something you guys feel in the camp or not at all?
No, I think for us we're in our own little bubble. You know, we know what to expect from these games. It's tournament football. There's always going to be pressure. That's just the element of playing in a major tournament. But like Sarina said, for us our focus remains on ourselves and being fully prepared, which we are, and yeah, ready for the battle tomorrow.
Sarina, how good is this Norway team?
Yeah, we've analysed them, of course. They're good. They have a good team. They've Hegerberg back. I think that's good for them. I think that's very good for the game too. Having a personality and a player like that on big stages is very good and good for the women's game. But we also think they have some weaknesses, and we're trying to hope to exploit that.
And Millie, look, Sarina just mentioned Arda Hegerberg is obviously probably the biggest name that they have, and there's so many good players. But Hegerberg specifically, how difficult is it going to be to defend against her?
Yeah, she's a top player. I think everyone's aware of her strengths and how she plays in the game. But it's just another opponent to take care of and to defend against. And as defenders, we love that challenge, and that's something that you thrive off.
Thanks, Anton. We'll go to Ollie at the BBC.
Hi, Sarina. Just picking up on what Martin Turpin was talking about in the last hour and a half or so, where you were sitting, talking about the pressure being on you as hosts, and he thinks that nerves played into your performance at Old Trafford.
Yeah, again, you're now talking about someone who's saying something about us, who hasn't been with the team and hasn't been with the process. But that's okay, and it's nice that they're trying to put pressure on us. We're just working on our game and how we want to play, and team play, the players and their tasks. I think the occasion last Wednesday was enormous. So there were 80,000 people. No, now exaggerating. 70,000 people. It was the first game. We really went into that game, and we had been preparing for that game for months. And also, I think Austria did very well too. And we had some different stages in the game, and I think overall this was a great accomplishment to win 1-0. And I think we take some things that we had moments that we played really well, and I think we had moments that we lost the ball a little too fast. But overall a great performance, and that's what we take from there to our game tomorrow.
I mean, you identified a few things straight after the game. It was obvious you were talking about the final third and not being clinical enough. You wanted more goals. Obviously, inter-tournament football, as you know, you have very little time to work on things. What have you prioritised for the last few days, and how's that gone?
We've had prioritising things over the last weeks because we had some weeks together. I think now what we did is talking about structure what we from Norway and how we can adapt to what we expect tomorrow. And yes, we have some little details that we want to do better. I do think also that we do create lots of chances, and I think that's the good thing. And now we want to score a little more, but one is enough if we don't concede any.
Millie, what was your perspective from the back there? I mean, you had a very good game, but can you see areas, and you think it was a good solid start for all of you?
Yeah, definitely. We got the win and we had a clean sheet, and in tournament football that's what matters. So for us, we took a lot out of that game, a lot of confidence, and yeah, of course there's always opportunities to score more goals, but ultimately we got the 3 points and a clean sheet, and everyone's in a good place going into the next game.
But knowing that it should be yourself and the Norwegians going through, how important is it going forward, more than likely into the next knockout stage, that you get a bit of momentum going now?
Well, I think firstly we still have 2 games to play, so first and foremost we concentrate on the game tomorrow, and then we go game by game. We don't expect to, just drift by games and just, get the win. It doesn't work like that. We have to work hard for every single goal and every single game against every opponent. We don't underestimate anybody.
Thanks, Ollie. Go to our friend from the Norwegian media at the back.
Martin Sjögren has talked about the.
Can you take off your mask, please?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Martin Sjögren has talked about the experience of facing a host nation. He did it against France with Norway 3 years ago. He did it against Netherlands 5 years ago, when you were in charge of the Netherlands, of course. How different do you think it is to prepare a team for a match when you're on the other side of things? You're now, for the second time, the host nations preparing a match against a quite huge side in Norway.
Well, I don't think about being the host. I think about the game and how we want to play, and the strengths of our team that we want to show tomorrow. So it's all about football and about tomorrow and about what's Norway like. How do we prepare for that game, and how can we bring our best game on the pitch tomorrow? And yeah, whether you're the home country or you're somewhere else.
Obviously, Norway had a catastrophical tournament in Netherlands 5 years ago. They had a decent championship in the World Cup 3 years ago. What do you think about the steps that team has taken the last years?
Yeah, well, I think they have been a top-level team over decennia. They had, and sometimes it got like this. We saw it with Germany too. Germany's really back on top level too. But right now, I think they're far. They have a good team. They have a very clear way how they want to play, and they have some strengths. And I do think they have some weaknesses too, which we hope we can explore tomorrow. Exploit, I think. Exploit. Still learning English.
And one for Millie. Obviously, a lot of Norwegian players play in England, but there are also huge interest from Norway as well in the English players. We have some stories about players coming back from injuries and being able to reach this championship. Maren Mjelde, of course, one of them. How was it for you to see her actually manage to get to this Euros and play in the ultimate match?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Obviously, she's the opponent, but it's always good to see players come back from big injuries, and for her to be back on this stage is brilliant. So, excited for her to be back, but ultimately, there's a job to be done tomorrow.
Thank you. Go to Emma at the BBC, please.
Yeah, hi Millie, hi Sarina. Millie, just one for you, kind of following on from that, but yeah, there's quite a few people in the Norway team that you know quite well, so I just wondered whether you could give us a bit of insight into Guro Reiten in particular and how threatening she could be tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think everybody knows her strengths from seeing her in the WSL. Obviously, she's technically extremely good, poses a threat on set pieces. But again, like Sarina said, we've noticed some weaknesses that hopefully we can exploit. But yeah, she's a wonderful player.
Just on a bit of a lighter note, we heard a couple of the players have been taking the boat down the River Thames. Have you been getting in on that?
Yeah, we had a recovery day and an opportunity to just switch off and refresh ourselves. So in that time, some people did, some went on the boat and just chilled out, and just mentally and physically switched off, and everyone's in a great place now.
Yeah, and Sarina, in terms of the staff, what kind of things have you been doing around the camp and at the hotel in between match days to just chill out?
I didn't go on a boat. No, just relax a little bit, work a little bit. But we had time enough, so you could not go in the 5th gear, but in the 2nd gear, and then get ready for the next training sessions. I just really enjoy being where we are at the Lansbury, and just the weather's really nice. The pitch is incredible. The whole environment is good. So getting prepared, watching some games, and have some training sessions.
You've been practicing on the basketball?
I haven't yet. I should. Yeah. So yeah.
Should get on it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thanks, Emma. We'll go to NOS.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
You probably heard this morning the news in the Dutch team about the COVID case.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you, and does it make you scared about your own team?
No, it both. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't make me scared. It's just still the world we live in. It's first of all very unfortunate. that it happens, and I just we are all aware that it's still around, and we take the precautions. So and that's what we do, and we keep on going with our training sessions and with our lives in this Euro competition, and we just hope that players that get tested positive they test negative real quick and they can join their team again, whether it's the Dutch team or it's Lotte with our team.
Did you manage to find some time to watch the Dutch game? What was your impression?
Yeah, I just want to talk about England. I'm now England manager, so I leave that up to the Dutch staff, and so please ask it Mark Parsons.
Thank you very much. We'll go to Molly at the Times.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
We spoke to Ellen yesterday, and she talked about how important it was to win this group, and I wonder from a coach's perspective how much momentum it would give England if we could top this group and obviously beat Norway in the process, to give you that confidence going into the next game, whether it's against Germany or Spain. You know it's going to be a tough game, whichever one of those.
Yeah. Well, again, we approach every next game, and you want to win every next game and play your best game, and that's what we're trying to do all the time. So tomorrow, yes, it would be really nice if we win, because then we're really comfortable in our group stage. But yeah, we take it from there. We don't look ahead already. We want to get through, play our best game, do our best, and hopefully that brings us to 3 points.
And for Millie, how good is it to test? We spoke about these players that Norway have got, particularly in that attacking area. How good is it as a defender to test yourself against that top quality opposition so early in the tournament?
Yeah, it's what you want as a team, not even just as defenders, but as a collective. You want to be challenged. It puts you in, good stead moving forward. But yeah, for us, we're prepared for what we're going to face tomorrow, and yeah, we're ready to put our stamp on the game as well.
Thanks, Molly. We'll go to Tom at the Telegraph.
Hi, Sarina. I wondered after Lotte unfortunately fell ill, whether you could tell us if there are any extra precautions that you've been taking as a team to stop that spreading around the camp, hopefully so that no one else picks it up.
Yeah, well, we were already aware that COVID was still around, because in our pre-camps we also had some COVID positives in our team who went out and came back again. So we are aware already, and that's what we have to go on with our lives, and hopefully no one gets positive again. And we do some things. So when there are people coming in, they're being tested. We do the hygienic things. All things like that. We are outside a lot, which is really nice now, so that makes it a little easier too. Things like that.
And just one more, if that's okay. Looking at the schedule, obviously you play again on Friday as well. Are you minded to rotate your team a little bit, or do you think more? Are you thinking more of consistency, keeping the side that won on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm now only thinking about the game tomorrow, and then we see what happens, because you never know what happens in games, and from there we'll go to the next game.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Simon at the Evening Standard.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
Just in terms of Norway, how much does it change the way they play and the style, having Ada in the team to when they didn't have Ada in the team?
I don't think they changed that much. They changed over the years a couple of things in their style of play. I think it's just a quality player that brings the level of the team higher. I didn't see that many other changes. Just when you put another player in, she fills in her role a little differently than the other one who will play there, and she does a pretty good job.
You sort of touched on it a bit, but for the tournament to have a star like her is a massive thing. I wonder, was there any part of you as a coach hoping that she didn't come back to play in this tournament, or were you just happy for the game?
Yeah, absolutely not. I think every player from that level, you just hope to be in the tournament, because it's so good for the women's game. You want all the best players in these tournaments, because that helps the game, and it's so nice to watch, and that's our responsibility too, all of us, to get the best players on the pitch, so that the people that come to watch the games see the best players.
Thanks, Simon. Go to Catherine at the Mail.
Hi, Sarina. I expecting this to be a more open game than it was against Austria, because Norway is so attack-minded that obviously you might have a bit more defending to do, but there might be more spaces for your attacking players to exploit them, perhaps than was last week.
I think so too. I hope they want to. They want to attack a little more. They're able to attack a little more, I think, and that's what we want to do too. So I do expect an open match. I do expect a very competitive match. So it should be exciting.
And Millie, your centre-back partner has changed quite a few times over you've been playing with Alex for quite a bit, and obviously you've played with Theo as well. Some people might, assume that you would quite like to have a settled centre-back partner, but do you think it's actually a positive that you've played with so many different players that you can kind of fit in and switch it around, and it's not sort of unsettling if there are a change?
Yeah, definitely. It shows the depth in our team, and Sarina's privileged to have so many players to choose from and players that bring so many strengths. So, it's definitely a positive, and it's a pleasure to play with anybody.
Thanks, Catherine. I think that's the final question, so we'll finish there and we'll take one more at the back then.
For Canal Plus, French TV. Sarina, the Norwegian coach says that the pressure is on you, that you are favorites. Is that a statue you assume?
I understood until you said pressure, and then you asked a question. I didn't understand it. Sorry.
The Norwegian coach says
Yes.
that the pressure is on you. Is
Yeah.
that a statue you assume?
Comfortable with guys.
Oh yeah. Well, yes. We just tomorrow's a game, and we want to win the game, and they want to win the game, and if they want to be the underdog, that's fine. I think they have a very strong squad, and we do too. So I expect an open match, and we'll see where it goes. And for obvious that I hope that we win the match.
Thank you very much. We'll finish there and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow. Oh, what do you mean?